Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a few days. Busy week at work. I was on the live stream on Wednesday, but I haven't really done much since my February music finds. But today, I wanted to highlight some artists that I don't talk about enough in my collection. Today is International Women's Day, and in the YouTube world, uh, in the music YouTube world, the vinyl community, whatever you want to call it, um, male artists are the predominant focus. That's just how it's been since this little niche of YouTube started. I'm, to blame for this as well. I mostly talk about male artists, um, but I wanted to highlight artists that I listen to that I love often, that I listen to often, love all the time in my collection that are you know solo singer female artists or female artists that are part of a band that play a very large role in the band. So with that, I'm not going to show. I mean, obviously, I love the girl groups, but it's a Phil Spector compilation that I have with groups like the Crystals, the Ronettes, Darlene Love, people like that. I love that stuff. Love it. Listen to it often. Um, so like things like that, where again, like the focus is on the male of that group. I'm not going to show. I'm rambling. Let me just show you what I mean. The first one that I'm going to show is a duo called Rachel and Vilray. Now, the reason I'm showing this is because Rachel Price is the vocalist of this fantastic jazz duo. Rachel sings with a group called Lake Street Dive. That's her main project. Vilray is a guitar player who she met, I believe, in music school in college. And this is their second album called I Love a Love Song. It's all original stuff that Vilray wrote, but Rachel has this fantastic, like jazz, a little bit of soul kind of voice, and she's just fantastic. There's a song on here. Um, where is it? Um, Hate is the Basis of Love. Wonderful, wonderful tune. Um, just a beautiful, beautiful song there. That it's just one of those like fun little like clever kind of melodies that you just kind of sink your teeth into. But anyway, um, I love a love song. Rachel and Vilray, check it out. It's wonderful, and check out their first album as well. A lot of female artists, for some reason, I end up listening to at Christmas time. One of whom is Rosemary Clooney. You would know Rosemary Clooney as being, big singer in the 50s, 40s, 50s. She was also one of the main stars in the Christmas film White Christmas. She was one of the Haynes sisters. She does sing the song "Snow" on here. That was in the movie White Christmas. She also sings the song "Count Your Blessings," also in that movie. This great kind of a deep uh, voice, but it's just it works so well. Unfortunately, she did lose a lot of that voice and that power as she aged. Time was not her friend vocally, nor were some of her life choices. But at her prime, at her peak, she was just absolutely wonderful. Rosemary Clooney. This collection is called "Songs from White Christmas and Other Yuletide Favorites." So check that out. Fantastic voice. Next is a artist I've talked about a few times. This is Molly Tuttle. She is a bluegrass guitar player extraordinaire. Probably just a couple of years older than I am, but this is her album called Crooked Tree. Um, Her second to most recent album. This came out in 2022. A lot of the songs were co-written with Ketch Secor of Old Crow Medicine Show. But Molly and herself, I think she won Bluegrass Guitar Picker of the Year award a couple of years ago. She's won some of like the best up and coming artists. She just won a Grammy for her most recent album, which was called City of Gold. I'm still trying to sink my teeth into that one more. This one I really, really like. This one also has some nice contributions from another great female artist who I have an album for. I didn't pull Margo Price, who's kind of right there with like the outlaw um, genre blending kind of country artist. Margo Price is on here. Sierra Hull, who is another great bluegrass player. You have Gillian Welsh. Again, I have some Gillian Welsh. She's known for doing a lot of songwriting in the early 2000s, working kind of with all those people that were coming up during the Oh Brother Where Art Thou movie in 2003. Her and her partner David Rawlings have been writing songs now for 20 plus years, and she's fantastic. But Gillian Welch is on here on a song called Side Saddle, which is really kind of a cool little song, talking about, the girls are singing about wanting to ride side saddle. I mean, not wanting to ride side saddle. They want to ride it, ride the horse like the boys do. Why do we have to ride it side saddle? Why is that the proper way? But they also have Billy Strings is on here. Old Crow Medicine Show is on here, and Dan Tyminski of Union Station is on here for Alison Krauss's band. So this is Crooked Tree. Molly Tuttle, fantastic player. I got to see her open for Old Crow last February, so that's a fantastic record. Keeping back to some jazz, going back to some jazz, we have Ella Fitzgerald, just the absolute queen of soul and jazz music. Just a wonderful, wonderful singer. Good grief, her vocal range is it's like an instrument. She can play it like she can scat like a trumpet. She can play off of the band, whatever they're doing. She can just improv it all. It's fantastic. This is a record that came out. It was originally on Verve, but it was released by I want to say Real Gone Music was releasing it very, very cheap. This is Live in Berlin from 1960. So you have standards on here like That Old Black Magic, Our Love Is Here to Stay, Misty, The Lady Is a Tramp, Just One of Those Things, Summertime, Mac the Knife, which is wonderful, How High the Moon. Just fantastic. Get anything by Ella. I have her Christmas album. I could have pulled that. I have some things that she did with Louis Armstrong. I have a live album that came out a couple years ago, live at the Hollywood Bowl. I wasn't crazy about that, not because of Ella. She did great, but the production on it, like the way that they pulled the music, it's very muted, and it doesn't benefit her voice at all. But this is a really good collection. This is Ella in Berlin. I'm going to show, this is a duo who I show all the time. And let me see. This is Mandolin Orange. The reason I showed this album, it doesn't have a picture really of Emily, but it's a husband and wife duo, Andrew Marlin and Emily France. And I think I like Emily's voice more than Andrew's. Andrew's got this really cool, like soft voice, but Emily has this very sweet, you can almost like hear her smiling through the music. My favorite Emily song is on this album called Hey Stranger. It's the opener. Check it out. It's just a wonderful song. It's become one of their bigger songs. She just harmonizes so well with Andrew too. The way that what she does with her harmonies with him is just like she knows where he's going and she can just follow along. And she has a voice where she could do things on her own. She could do her own thing. But she she gives, a lot of the credit to Andrew because he's the songwriter, but when she's able to get out and sing, it's just fantastic. And she can play great rhythm guitar. She can play the fiddle. I saw them twice last year, and yeah, that's always my favorite highlight whenever she sings Hey Stranger. So Mandolin Orange or Watch House, whatever you want to call them. This is another artist that I talk about quite a bit on my channel. This is Dory Freeman from Galax, Virginia. She is somebody that I've seen several times. I got to meet her last summer, and this is her most recent album called Do You Recall. It came out sometime late last summer, early fall, produced by her husband, Nicholas Falk. So again, another family affair kind of thing. She has this voice kind of like Brandi Carlile, but not as bombastic as Brandi Carlile. It's a more mellow tune, almost more like 70s Joni Mitchell, I would say. But she doesn't do like the high soprano jumping like Joni Mitchell does. That throws a lot of people off a lot of the time. But this is a really, really good record, Do You Recall? Full of songs. Laundromat's cool. Do You Recall is great. Movie Screen is a really nice little kind of like a country waltz, like a classic kind of 1950s country waltz. So Dory Freeman, any of her stuff, it's all great. Check it out. This is a duo who I love quite a bit. They're just so good. This is She and Him. Of course, the she in question is Zooey Deschanel. Uh, you knew her from the movie Elf. She's also in the show New Girl, that was on Fox for about 7 or 8 years. Um, they are very much a throwback duo. The him is M Ward, who's a producer and kind of an all around just a musician kind of guy. But Zooey Deschanel has this great, again, kind of a jazzy, I don't even know how you would describe it, Brenda Lee ish. I mean, obviously there's like a little bit of Ella influence, not the same range, um, but she's just kind of got like this like lilting little voice. It's very, again, a very like it's a full voice. And if you've seen the movie Elf, you've heard her sing uh, in that movie, and she sang a bit on New Girl. But this is a really cool record. This is She and Him. This excuse me, Melt Away. It's a tribute to Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, and Brian Wilson actually makes an appearance on their version of Do It Again. But it's just a really cool record. They've also got some great Christmas records if you want to check those out. But they do Darlin', Wouldn't It Be Nice, Till I Died, Deirdre, Melt Away, Good to My Baby, Don't Talk, Put Your Head on My Shoulder. I'll just show it all. Don't Worry Baby, This Whole World, Kiss Me Baby, Do It Again, Heads You Win, Tails I Lose, Please Let Me Wonder, and Meant for You. This was put out by Fantasy Records. This is the Magnolia Record Company limited edition colored vinyl. Actually, this is still sealed because I'm mostly listening to the CD, and still not sure if I'm going to open this or not. But really cool record, great production. They had kind of a throwback to the Phil Spector kind of production, and definitely pay homage to that style while also being very new and kind of makes you wonder where they're going to go next. So She and Him, Melt Away, really cool. Just two more and then I'll get out of here. This is one of the top of them all. This is and I'm talking about just across the board. Carole King. This is a Record Store Day release that came out a year or two ago. This is original demo recordings, the legendary demos. This is Carole King doing a lot of her songs that other people did. But again, when you hear the songwriter do them, it's just a fantastic thing. So it's kind of like this like translucent, kind of smoky vinyl. Actually, I might listen to this when I finish recording. But you have her doing stuff like the Monkees' Pleasant Valley Sunday, Take Good Care of My Baby. Then she does You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, Beautiful, Crying in the Rain, It's Too Late, Tapestry, You've Got a Friend. So it's really just very stripped back Carole King on the piano. Her demos are as good as a lot of the, full recordings. And I love when the artist does that. There are a lot of artists that put so much time and effort into the demos that you hear the demos and you're thinking like that's where the emotion is. That the emotion's sitting with the demos. The artists that making the hits, they've got the right studio people behind them. They've got the right production. They've got the money behind it. But when you're just writing the demos, you're just getting the song across enough so that the recording artist will know, like, okay, this is how it's going to go. This is where there's going to be a change with the chords, blah, blah, blah. But when you're the writer, I'm sure, these songs have, personal meaning to you. When you're doing them just by yourself, sitting, alone in a studio, a practice room, wherever it is, that's when the song means the most. And that's where, the emotion just falls on the floor. So check this out. Carole King, the legendary demos. Really cool to hear her do a lot of those songs in their early stages. And lastly, this is an album. I just listened to this today and cleaned it up a little bit, actually. It's just a fantastic record. I think my buddy JT at JT's Record Room gave me this, but this is Emmylou Harris, her album Pieces of the Sky. Fantastic record. Check it out if you don't know it. I've heard this album several times and I always enjoy it, but something about today, I listened to it and I said, wow, that's a really good record. Again, Emmylou, she's a great interpreter of songs. She does songwrite, but she's mostly a great interpreter of songs. Obviously, you hear her harmonies over almost anybody that's ever been in the Americana, kind of 70s country world. I mean, she, sings with Willie Nelson, Rodney Crowell, Gillian Welch, who I mentioned earlier. She's everywhere. And her harmony is just, it's just a part of that genre of music. But Great stuff on here. You have Bluebird Wine opening it off with Rodney Crowell, and some of the players on here are great too. You have James Burton, Ray Pullman on bass, Glenn Harden on piano, Bernie Ledden on banjo from the Eagles, Herb Peterson, who would tour with Chris Hillman from the Byrds. She does Too Far Gone by Billy Sherrill. If I Could Only Win Your Love, which was a hit, it's a duet she does with Herb Peterson. It's fantastic, by the Louvin Brothers. Bowler to Birmingham, that was another hit that she co-wrote with Bill Danoff, who Bill Danoff was one of the singers in Starland Vocal Group that sang Afternoon Delight. He also wrote a lot with John Denver around this time as well. Before Believing, that has Ricky Skaggs playing fiddle on it and Billy Payne on piano. On side 2, she does the Merle Haggard song, The Bottle Let Me Down. Really, really great version of that. Sleepless Nights by Boudleaux Bryant and Felix Bryant, huge songwriters in the 50s and 60s. She does a version of Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors on here. Again, makes it sound like it's her own song. She does For No One by the Beatles. And then she does Queen of the Silver Dollar, which is a song written by Shel Silverstein, who obviously also wrote Boy Named Sue, and then was, a poet and a children's author in his own right. So there you go. I stumbled my way through some of this. I apologize for that. I feel like I'm a little bit rusty on making videos for whatever reason, but I just wanted to highlight some female artists, some cool records and CDs that I have here. Let me know if you like these. Check them out. They're all fantastic. I would, any of these albums I would say are top tier, and are ones that I go to quite a bit. And again, some of them are newer classics to me. Like this one I've just been getting into in the last year. So very happy to have all of these in my collection and to continue growing out these collections. So let me know what y'all think. Again, happy International Women's Day to all of the ladies out there, especially the ladies in the vinyl community. Unfortunately, they're few and far between, so let's try to get a few more in here. We want to hear your opinions on music and get a different perspective. There you go. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye now.